So a lot's changing for me, and it doesn't really feel like it yet, I guess. Um, After years of procrastinating and pushing it off, I'm finally studying for the CPA, scheduled my exam, my first exam for October, and which is something I haven't done yet. This has got to be like the fourth or fifth time I've started to study, and I would always get frustrated or impatient or just lose confidence or whatever. And this time feels different. It feels a lot more calm, and pretty much largely thanks to my yoga practice. And that's the other thing. Now I went through the yoga teacher training this year, and I'm going to be teaching a weekly class starting next week, and I'm surprised I'm surprised I'm not more nervous. I've already taught a couple classes earlier this year through the training, and I did a lot better than I thought I would. And I guess part of me feels like I should be more excited, but I'm also still hesitant to get too excited. Not that I think something is gonna go badly, but it feels like, well, I should say during the training, it felt like I was on the right path and I was supposed to be doing it. And now it's been kind of like a little limbo state where the past couple months I haven't been doing anything besides, I still go to yoga classes. I still, I should be better at my home practice, but it's not like I've been sitting on my hands for 2 months, but it's gonna feel, I can sense it's gonna feel different once I'm in the thing. Once that goes for training or teaching, rather. And then with the CPA exams, once I take that first exam, or I should say once I pass it, I think it's 18 months to do pass the other three. And I'll officially be on the clock with that, and it'll be like, it's like this next step, next phase. I don't know how to really think about it, because it's I feel like I should be more excited, but at the same time I'm calm, because it feels like I'm going the right direction. But long term, I have no idea where that path's going to take me. Either of these things, and I just think I could probably. I'll talk another day about what the yoga teacher training did for me, but it's very noticeable how much more calm I've been in general. And even when there are bursts of emotion, I'm able to acknowledge them more clearly, or I'm able to notice what those emotions actually are and how they come about, what triggers them, and not attach myself to those feelings. And therapy's helped a lot with this. Same with medication and acupuncture, chiropractic. I went through the whole thing. But with what yoga teaches that the others don't, acupuncture in a way does, because you're practicing being comfortable, being calm, lying in stillness. You're not on your phone, you're not listening to anything except your body and your surroundings, I suppose. But then that kind of gets into what are we, or who are we? What, when we're listening to ourselves, when we talk about self-improvement, what is the self? Part of it is our body. Part of it is our mental state. Part of it is our environment and other people. People are reflections of each other. Part of it is a field of energy. What do we sense? What do we feel when we're in a place, when we're in a new place together with other people, moving together, any kind of community based atmosphere? Part of our body is, and it goes beyond. Thich Nhat Hanh talked about this, and forget the name of the book, but there was like 8 or 9 different like bodies, and he listed each of them. And if we're not taking care of our body, then that's just going to lead to a lot more suffering than we need to be dealing with. A lot of needless suffering. But part of that problem is we don't acknowledge every part of our body. We're only acknowledging our physical body, if at all. A lot of people don't even acknowledge that, and they're suffering, and they resort to drugs and constant entertainment to distract themselves from themselves. And then one day they wake up and they're 80, 90, and they're afraid to die because they spent year after year distracting themselves from themselves and never really getting to know their body, to know themselves. And that's terrifying. That's terrifying to me. That's more terrifying than death. Because death, I can get my head around. It's just a part of life. Or well, if you read Thich Nhat Hanh, or any, I guess, I'm not really sure the differences between like Buddhism and like Zen Buddhism, or if there's what the different Buddhisms are, but basically, death is an illusion. It's really just, it's like a transformation, like how water, like the water cycle, if you remember it from elementary school. condensation, and then it turns into vapor, or however it works. And the cloud, it rains, and then whatever. It's like snow. Water is constantly changing its form, and that's how it is with all energy. And that's everything. Everything's just energy. But we tend to get stuck in this three-dimensional, like, oh, this is me. This is me right here. And that's it. This is me. And everything else is not me. And that's a trap. We trap ourselves into this. And it's not even like individualistic. It's isolating. We're isolating ourselves from the abundance of energy in the universe. Because we're holding on to this sense of identity, we're holding on to a sense of identity, which is the ego, because we're afraid of what it would mean to not be somebody, to just be part of a giant field of energy. But people also equate that with having no meaning, like, oh, if we're all just connected and there's no, if there's no individual in the way that they see it, then it doesn't matter if they do right or wrong. But that's wrong, because all the energy feeds into the rest, and everything, all the energy that you carry through the transformation of death, I believe you will carry with you, and you will change form, and you will experience the energy you carried through the next phase of whatever comes next. So if you live your life constantly in fear of change or whatever, not living the life you want, resenting others, angry at things because you name it. I lost my train of thought there. It's a lot. And in terms of the path we're on in the short term, we have to keep that in mind. That long term, it's not that these things don't matter long term. We're cultivating energy, and we're like transmuting it in a way that can benefit the entire field of energy that we're all connected to. And you can call that God or Jesus, whatever you want to call it, Buddha. It's within us all, and it's just part of everything. And that's the ultimate meaning in life, I believe. But that's all nice to think about, but unless you're doing something with energy and cultivating it in a good way that can benefit the whole, or at least trying to. Because I mean, people fail, and that's just a part of life too. But I think there's a path for everyone to realize I don't want to say the best version of themselves, although that might be possible. A good enough version of themselves where they are doing good and content with it. And that's what it feels like I'm on. And I look forward to seeing what I'm capable of. And it just amazes me that I'm not more nervous, that I'm able to be this calm and still focus. Or well, I'm not completely focus comes in and out. It's on a scale, or when you say a ladder, or I could be better at focusing. Noticing, I've gotten pretty good at. And that's what it really all comes down to, isn't it? Noticing the path we're on and noticing the energy around us. It's not it's crazier to think that science already proved the energy part. Everything's energy. Everything's a field of consciousness. People just don't see it as consciousness. That's just one word you can use for it. Another word is God, but people don't like that word because then, well, they equate it with religion, and I'll talk about that other day. But it's interesting that I'm doing new things and I'm comfortable with it. This has never been the case in my whole life. We'll see what happens.